Yeah, welcome to Maths with Gloria. In today's class, we'll be looking at simultaneous equations. So simultaneous equations involve question having two or more equations. So if you look at the example below, we have two equations. So we have three methods of solving simultaneous equation. We have the substitution method, the elimination method, and the graphical method. So we are going to look at these three methods using this particular question. So let's start with the first one, substitution method. So let's bring down the equations. 4x plus 7y equal to 29. X plus 2y equal to 8. Oh, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So we are looking at substitution method. Whenever you are solving substitution method, you check your two equations. If you have any of the equations that have the coefficient of one of its variable or any of its variable as 1, and the coefficient of any of its variable as 1, you start with that equation. Although it may not be like that in all cases, but if it is in that case, like this question, the equation 2 has x, the coefficient of x is 1. So we'll start with equation 2. So we'll say from equation 2, make x the subject. So we are making x the subject of the formula. It will now be x equal to this plus 2y. When it gets to this other side of the equation, it will be minus 2y. So we'll call this equation 2. Sorry, we'll call it equation 3. This is equation 1, equation 2. So we call this equation 3. So the next thing to do is to substitute. Substitute for this equation, for this x, which is 8 minus 2y in equation 1. You cannot substitute in equation 2 because it is from equation 2 we derived this equation 3. So substitute it in equation 1. So substitute for x in equation 1. So it will now be 4. Anyway, you see x, you replace it with what? 8 minus 2y. Close our bracket. Plus 7y equal to 29. So we open our bracket. 4 times 8 will give us what? 32. Minus 4 times 2y, 8y, plus 7y equal to 29. So we'll collect our like terms. So we'll collect our like terms. This is your minus 8y plus 7y remains in this side of the equation. Then we take this, there's a visible plus here, plus 32 to this other side of the equation. So when plus gets to this other side of the equation, it will be minus 32. So collect our like terms. So we've collected our like terms, right? So let's solve for our y. So 8y plus 7y will give us minus y equal to 29 minus 32 will give us minus 3. So minus or cancel minus. Our y is equals to 3. So since we have solved for y, we can now substitute for y in equation 3. Let's substitute this in equation. Though if you substitute this in any of the equation, it will still give you the same answer. But the best equation to substitute in is in equation 3 because x is already the subject of the formula in this equation 3. So we substitute for y in substitute for y in equation 3. So we'll now have x equal to 8 minus 2 open bracket. The value of y is 3. So x equal to 8 minus 2 times 3, 6. X equal to 2. So therefore, using elimination substitution method, our x equals to 2 and y equal to 3. So let's use substitution elimination method. So elimination. So using elimination method, let's bring both equations together once again. 4x plus 7y equal to 29. Remember, this is equation 1. Then x plus 2y equal to 8. This is our equation 2. This is elimination method. So from the word eliminate, whenever you are given the two equations, you look at the variable of equation 1 and equation 2. Any of the variable that has their coefficient, they have the same coefficient both in equation 1 and 2, you eliminate it and solve for the other variable. But if you check this question, the value of the coefficient of x in equation 1 and the coefficient of x in equation 2, they are not the same thing. We can't eliminate it this way. So if the coefficient of y in equation 1 and the coefficient of y in equation 2, they are not the same thing. We can't eliminate it this way. So we either make the coefficient of x in equation 1 in equation 2 to be 4x so that we can eliminate it, or we make the coefficient of x in equation 1 to be 1 so that we can eliminate. So, or we go and check depending on the question, you get it, or we check for y, we check the coefficient of y also. The easiest way to go about this is to multiply equation 2 by 4 so that it can be 4x and 4x. We can now eliminate it. So we multiply the whole of equation 2 by 4, not just 4x. So we say equation 2 times 4. So it will now be 4x plus 2 times 2y will give us 8y equal to 4 times 8 will give us 32. So can I call this equation 3? So we are using, for now, we are using equation 1 and equation 3. So the next thing to do is to bring both equations together. So let's bring both equations together. We'll have 4x plus 7y equal to 29. This is our equation 1. 4x plus 8y equal to 32. This is our equation 3. So if you look at this, they are the same thing. So we'll do equation 1 minus equation 2. Sorry, equation 3. So that's how we can eliminate this 4x and 4x. So 4x minus 4x is nothing. So we are left with 7y minus open bracket plus 8 equal to 29 minus 32. 7y. So let's first of all open the bracket. So minus times plus will give us what? Minus 8y equal to 29 minus 32. So 7y minus 8y will give us minus y equal to 29 minus 32 will give us minus 3. So minus cancel minus. We are left with what? Y equal to 3. So the next thing, since we have solved for y, we can now substitute for y in either of any of the equation. We can use any of the equation. We can use equation 1 or equation 2 or equation 3. We still arrive at the same answer. So substitute for y in, let's use equation 2. In equation 2. So equation 2 is x plus 2y. So y is 3 equal to 8. So x plus 2 times 3 is 6 equal to 8. Our x equal to 8 minus 6. Our x equal to what? 8 minus 6 is what? 2. So therefore, our x is equals to 2 and y equal to 3. Good. So if you look at the elimination method, the substitution method, you see x is 2. Elimination method, x is 2. Substitution method, y is 3. And substitution method as well, y is 3. So we have come to the end of today's class. In our next video, we are going to look at graphical method. But before I conclude, I would like to give you assignments. I would like you to solve it. After solving, leave your answer in the comment section. I'd like to see your answer for elimination method and substitution method. So solve and compare your answer. So 3x minus y equal to 3. 8y plus y equal to 17. So solve and leave your answer at the comment section. Thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, share, and to comment, and also subscribe. Thank you.